Hi there, garden friends. It's Lily from Golden Garden Moments. We all want our gardens to be beautiful, peaceful, and full of life. But sometimes the most innocent looking plants can turn into full blown nightmares, choking out your flowers, invading your neighbor's yard, or even causing serious harm. Today, I'm sharing the 8 plants you should never plant in your garden, no matter how tempting they look at the nursery. These aren't just hard to control, they're aggressive, destructive, and in some cases, even dangerous. I've seen gardens and ecosystems wrecked by just one of these. So grab your trowel, pour yourself a cup of tea, and let's protect your little slice of paradise together. 1. Kudzu. Kudzu is often called the vine that ate the South, and for good reason. Originally introduced to control erosion, this fast-growing vine can grow up to a foot per day, smothering trees, shrubs, and even entire buildings under a dense blanket of leaves. Once established, it's nearly impossible to eradicate, with deep roots that can extend 12 feet underground. Kudzu outcompetes native plants for sunlight and nutrients, drastically reducing biodiversity. Even worse, it's classified as a noxious weed in many states, and planting it may be illegal. If you're looking for ground cover or shade, choose a native alternative like Virginia creeper or passion flower vine. Don't let kudzu's pretty purple flowers fool you. Its beauty hides an ecological nightmare. Avoid it at all costs, unless you want your garden and your neighbors consumed by an unstoppable green monster. 2. Japanese knotweed. Japanese knotweed might look like an innocent bamboo-like plant, but it's one of the most destructive invasive species in North America and Europe. Its roots, called rhizomes, can spread over 20 feet horizontally and crack through concrete, asphalt, and building foundations. Once it takes hold, removal can cost thousands of dollars and take years of persistent effort. Even a tiny fragment of root left behind can regenerate a whole new plant. Many banks won't approve mortgages on properties with knotweed due to the damage risk. It crowds out native vegetation, destabilizes riverbanks, and offers little value to local wildlife. If you spot it, report it to local authorities. Don't try to compost it or dispose of it yourself. For similar height and structure without the chaos, consider ornamental grasses like feather reed grass. Keep Japanese knotweed far from your garden. 3. English ivy. English ivy may seem like a charming, classic ground cover or climbing vine, but it's a major ecological threat. It climbs trees with aggressive aerial roots, blocking sunlight and weighing down branches until they break. On the ground, it forms a thick mat that chokes out native wildflowers and seedlings, preventing forest regeneration. It also harbors pests like rodents and bacteria that can harm other plants. Once established, ivy is incredibly difficult to remove. Its waxy leaves resist herbicides, and roots cling tenaciously to soil and bark. Many regions now classify it as invasive, and responsible gardeners are removing it entirely. If you love its look, opt for native alternatives like creeping phlox or wild ginger. Never let English ivy escape your yard. It spreads easily by birds carrying its berries. Protect your local ecosystem. Skip this deceptive vine. 4. Purple loosestrife. Purple loosestrife's tall spikes of magenta flowers may look stunning in a wetland garden, but this plant is an environmental disaster. It invades marshes, ponds, and stream banks, forming dense monocultures that crowd out native plants like cattails and sedges. critical food and shelter for birds, frogs, and insects. A single plant can produce over 2 million seeds annually, spreading rapidly by wind, water, and wildlife. Once established, it degrades water quality and reduces habitat diversity. Many states ban its sale and cultivation. Even sterile cultivars can cross pollinate with wild types and become invasive. Instead, choose native beauties like blazing star, Joe Pye weed, or cardinal flower. They offer similar color and height without the ecological cost. Don't let purple loosestrife turn your water garden into a biological desert. Hey, if you're learning something new today, or if you've ever pulled a mystery vine out of your garden only to find it growing back twice as strong, you're in the right place. I'm Lily, and here at Golden Garden Moments, I share honest, practical gardening advice to help you grow a healthier, happier, and truly sustainable garden without the hidden headaches. If that sounds like your kind of gardening, hit subscribe and tap the bell so you never miss a tip. Your future self and your flower beds will thank you. Now, let's get back to those plants you should never bring home. 5. Bamboo running types. Not all bamboo is bad, but running bamboo species like Philostachys are garden nightmares. Unlike clumping bamboo, running types send out aggressive underground rhizomes that can travel 15 feet or more in a single season, popping up in lawns, driveways, and even neighboring yards. They're nearly impossible to contain without deep, specialized barriers, and removal often requires heavy machinery and years of vigilance. Many homeowners have faced legal disputes when their bamboo invaded a neighbor's property. Before planting any bamboo, confirm it's a true clumping variety. Better yet, choose native grasses like switchgrass or northern sea oats for similar texture and movement. If you already have running bamboo, act fast. Contain or eradicate it before it takes over. Your future self and your neighbors will thank you. 6. Giant hogweed. Giant hogweed isn't just invasive, it's dangerous. This towering plant, which can reach 15 feet tall, contains toxic sap that causes severe skin burns and blisters when exposed to sunlight, a condition called phytophotodermatitis. Contact can lead to long-term scarring and even blindness if sap gets in your eyes. Native to Central Asia, it spreads aggressively along rivers and roadsides, outcompeting local flora. It's federally listed as a noxious weed in the U.S. and banned in many countries. Never touch it and never plant it even as an ornamental curiosity. If you spot giant hogweed, report it to local authorities. Do not attempt removal yourself. Safe alternatives with dramatic height include angelica or native Joe Pye weed. Remember, beauty shouldn't come at the cost of your health or your ecosystem. 7. Mimosa tree or silk tree. The mimosa tree, with its fluffy pink flowers and fern-like leaves, seems like a dreamy addition to any yard. But don't be fooled, it's highly invasive and ecologically harmful. Mimosa produces hundreds of seeds yearly, spreads rapidly into forests and fields, and fixes nitrogen in poor soils, giving it an unfair advantage over native plants. Its weak wood makes it prone to storm damage, and it's highly susceptible to diseases like mimosa wilt, which can kill it quickly, leaving you with a mess and no shade. Worse, it offers little food or shelter for native wildlife. Many states discourage or ban its planting. Instead, choose native flowering trees like redbud or serviceberry. They provide seasonal beauty, support pollinators, and won't overrun your landscape. Skip the mimosa. Your garden deserves better. 8. Creeping bellflower. Creeping bellflower may charm you with its delicate blue-purple flowers, but it's one of the most persistent garden invaders. It spreads aggressively through both seeds and underground rhizomes, forming dense colonies that choke out everything else. Even worse, it's nearly impossible to eradicate. Break a root while weeding, and each fragment can grow into a new plant. Herbicides often fail because its waxy leaves repel sprays, and it thrives in sun or shade, dry or wet soil. Once in your garden, it can take years of relentless digging to remove. Many gardeners unknowingly share it through plant swaps, spreading the problem further. Choose native alternatives like harebell or blue lobelia for similar color without the headache. If you see creeping bellflower, remove it immediately and never compost it. Your future garden will thank you. And there you have it. 8 plants that might look lovely, but can quickly turn your dream garden into a real-life cautionary tale. Remember, gardening isn't just about beauty. It's about responsibility, too. Every plant we choose has an impact on our soil, our wildlife, and our neighbors. If you found this helpful, I'd be so grateful if you'd give this video a thumbs up, share it with a fellow gardener, especially that one who's still trying to grow bamboo just for fun. And of course, subscribe to Golden Garden Moments for more honest, earth-friendly gardening wisdom. Drop a comment below. Have you ever battled an invasive plant? I'd love to hear your story and maybe even help you solve it in a future video. Until next time, keep your hands in the soil, your heart in bloom, and your garden golden. I'm Lily. See you soon.